All right. Welcome to the last RIM webinar for 2018. In this webinar, we will be going over the new General Retention Schedule interface. I'll answer what changed, why, as well as some search tips and tricks. We want to answer as many questions as we can, so please submit those in the chat box or email recordstraining@utah.gov. Oh, there you go. First of all, to make sure we're all on the same page, there are two types of retention schedules you're used to on the archives website. There's the retention schedule page. Let's see if I can turn on a highlighter or something. Here we go. We have the general retention schedule page. This is what it looked like before the launch. And then there's the series-specific retention schedules, and we usually call these record series. The law states all record series are to be managed according to an approved retention schedule. So one type is the general schedule, which are created for common record groups, accounts payable, meeting minutes. All the general retention schedules have already been approved by the State Records Committee, so they are available for immediate use, and these are what we're talking about today. The other kind is series-specific retention schedule. Those are also approved by the State Records Committee, but they're usually used when there's something you need that's different from the general schedule. So to find those, let's go into it. Here's the new page. Law. So you can search your agency by name, you can search by series number, and that's all here, the series-specific retention schedule. That's where you can search what's listed under your office. You cannot search those in this big search bar. This is for the general retention schedules. When a government agency has records that are not covered in the general retention schedule, or you want to keep something for more or less time than is specified in the general retention schedule, then you can create a unique series, a series-specific retention schedule for those records that can be approved by the State Records Committee, and it has the same mandate as the general schedule, but those are all listed here. And there are some departments that have a lot of satellite offices, and so they have created general retention schedules just for their department so that all of the smaller offices can follow the same general retention schedule. But if they need to have their own series numbers, they can do that. So right now there are only 8 departments that are using these, but that's where those are. That's what that is. And this is where the general retention schedules are, the big search bar. If you don't enter anything in here and just click search, it will still take you into the general retention schedules. So before we go exploring into the schedules, let me briefly explain why we did this. We needed a simpler way for people to find the general retention schedule for their record. And we've been updating and consolidating the general retention schedules since 2013, 2014 to create a more uniform experience for municipalities, counties, state agencies, other government agencies. And as more schedules have been moved and crosswalked and updated, it's been harder to find the current schedule. And having one set of retention schedules will facilitate record officers finding the right schedule, find it faster, reduce redundancy. Because if you remember the way it was before, there was a state, government, county, municipality, and there would be the same schedule in each of those because that's where that agency would have to go. And there used to be confusion that the categories and the category schedules from like administrative and financial, that those were meant for departments, but it was our way of organizing them at the time, and that didn't always work. For example, special districts didn't have their own category like county or school districts did. So with that, let's dive into this. Yeah. Close this out. And here we are. Oh, I didn't put in the series number. So you can search your agency right here. And then right under it, if you know the specific series number for your office for a certain record, you can search that in here. That's just like it was before. And then the courts down here, they have their own schedules. The legislature has their own. For recent updates right now, this just has a PDF of that old, oh, yes, I can make it bigger. I'm sorry, guys. There you go. All right, that we good? All right. Okay, so under here in view recent updates, right now this just has that PDF we used to publish every year of all the changes that have happened in the last year. So this one just goes up to October 2017. And we are planning on publishing all the changes, and more about that later, but that's what's in here right now. So if you click where did all the schedules go, this is going to take you to our facts page, and it's got what all the different fields mean. We've got video tutorials on YouTube you can look at. And so hopefully this will help you as you explore the new page. But we're going to go explore it ourselves right now. So let's say you have some cemetery deeds and you're wondering what the retention schedule is for those. You could type in cemetery, you could type in cemetery deeds. I think I'm just going to do both. We'll do cemetery deeds. Although that worked well, didn't it? A for autofill didn't quite work. There we go. Okay. Okay. So before we go over the results, let me show you what all these things are. In fact, I take it back. Let's do it this way. If you go in without searching anything, it's going to default to click the current schedules. These are what are active right now and available for use. Discontinued has everything that's been crosswalked to something else. So this one, the planning study reports, you have the GRS number, and you can still see the description, what the retention was, when it was approved, and when it was closed. And then it will show you which schedule to follow instead, and it's a link. So you can go right to the current schedule. That's what the discontinued schedules are. If we have a draft that we're working on, that will also be here under discontinued. It will say draft and have a number like this to tell you how many there are. And all the old categories that you're used to seeing from the old website, those are all here on the side. However, I do not suggest that you browse this way because it's great if you're trying to narrow a search, but we're working on a way to browse, but this might not get you to the record you need, because if you're looking for cemetery records, it's not here, because we had a lot more categories than we can list here. Oh, man, it is here. Look at that. But that doesn't show you what the current schedules are, because when we updated them, they were listed under county, and anyway, so if you need to narrow down your search, these categories work great for that. So let's look for cemetery deeds and see what we get. 21 results, and each word you put in is kind of seen as its own search term. So deed records comes up first because deeds is in the title and it's in the description a couple times. And here we have the cemetery management records. That may be close. You got the description here. Burial records. This has deeds in it, but they're not cemetery. And then here's interment and disinterment. Those are the current cemetery records. There are a couple ways that you can look at things on here. And there's a view drop box right here that says detail and summary. Detail gives you this. So you have the title, the description, retention, and the approval date. That's what effective means. Summary is just going to show you the title. So if you can't see everything you need, check this and change it to detail, and that will give you more information. You can also change your sort. So relevance is by the keywords. We could change it by title, and that just puts it into alphabetical order. And approval date, when you're going through current schedules and you're not quite sure where the current one is, this one can be really good to see the latest approval date. A lot of these are going to have April 2018 because we updated quite a few things just so they wouldn't be confusing, because you can't find them under the categories anymore. For example, let's do I take it back. So for these, the last couple months we've been adding some words to the title. So this used to just say registration records, and we added student just to add some clarity so you know what you're looking at. There are a couple of descriptions we changed a little bit. So some things that used to say these are for the county clerk, we would edit to say these are for the county and municipal clerk, just so they can be used by more offices and we don't have duplicate schedules on here. But if you find duplicates that I missed, let me know and I'll fix it. And we'll let you know which one is which one we're going to be keeping. So before I go further, do we have any questions at this point? I can't hear you, Renee.
Nope, no questions right now.
Okay. All right. All right, let me show you some of these advanced search options. If you know the general schedule number, the general retention schedule number, you can search just by the number right here. Yeah, that's a discontinued schedule now, isn't it? Here you go. There's contracts. You can search for it that way. And like you guys, and I'm still learning all these numbers, so but we'll get used to them. The previous schedule numbers, if you remember what those were, then you can search for those here. And let's try, ooh, sure, let's search that one. SG 765 was state government accounts payable and receivable. If you search for something that has been tied to a different schedule, this should take you to what the schedule is now. Aww. Okay. I'm learning my numbers again. It's been a long one. Alright, so if you just click search, it'll take you in here. We got 1,300 journal schedules. That's all of them.
Rebecca, we have a question.
Great.
Okay, a question from Eve. When you did the keyword search on cemeteries, how do you know from the 21 results which one is the correct item? Are the results the old names?
Great question. All right. Oh, I did cemetery duties, didn't I? So this is really going to have to, you're gonna have to read the descriptions, and this is assuming that you know what the record is that you're looking for the retention schedule for. So when you're searching for cemetery deeds, the first hit says they're deeds of real estate owned by the government agency. So you have the deeds, titles, and insurance. That's not about the cemetery. So you go to the next one. These are administrative records for the management of cemeteries. So that sounds related. And then the burial records, these document burials and interments, identify burial rights. And so cemetery deeds actually falls under this one, but the word deed isn't in here. So when you go in, so you need to need to know a little bit about your record. And if you feel stuck, you can absolutely call us and we can help you find the schedule that you need so you don't spend too much time wandering around. But if you click on a schedule, this is going to give you some more details. It shows you what the categories were on the old interface. So it was under the county clerk because, oh, okay, so that's when it was approved by the State Records Committee. There's the old date. And there's a search term that somebody put in here for cemetery. And we're working on adding more search terms so the right schedule pops up. That's our next project after this webinar. And if there's some that you have, because people have different names for records than what you'll find in the general schedule, because the general retention schedule is broad. It's a big bucket to describe different record types. So we've got these links down here so you can provide feedback. So if you have trouble finding this schedule, you can put in a comment or you can put in a search term. So for burial records, if you want to say these are cemetery deeds, you can absolutely add that. So the next time someone searches, or the next time you search, then you can find it. So,
We have another question.
oh, alrighty.
On the advanced search option, say
Yes.
you want to pull up all of the permanent municipal records, can you show us how to do that?
All the permanent municipal records.
And then we have another question after that, but show us that.
I would recommend, we're trying to get a key for all the old schedule numbers and the new schedule numbers. So for something that had been previously crosswalked from the municipal schedule to the county schedule, it won't be listed this way, but we'll get a key for you. But we do have a search bar here just for retention disposition. So you could just put in permanent and quick search. There are 237 different hits. And let's narrow that down. 138 that are current, and then you can narrow it down here. There are 28 listed under the municipality. I hope that helps, but that's not going to list everything that would be permanent under a municipality. But hopefully that can help refine the search so you can find what you're looking for. What was the next question?
Okay. Okay, there's another one after this too. So will the new system let us update our agency's retention schedules online?
Say again, will the what?
Will the new system let us update our agency's retention schedule online?
Okay, so right now this is just for the general retention schedule. So if you have your own series that you want to update, back on our main page, there's this folder for records management up here. And create and update retention schedule. This is for your records. And you can edit your series right here. And then put in, let's do, here's the series. And then whatever you need to change, you can put up here. And then we will get that in our email and we'll work to help you update your own series. For general retention schedules, if you think that a schedule needs to be changed, if you click on it, you can click the title or click view over here. If you think the general retention schedule has an update that in the description, the title, maybe the retention needs to change, you can click provide feedback here. And this takes you to a form that will be emailed to us, and put in your name, your email, send us the link. So if you go back, copy the link, go forward. Sorry, this side kind of got small. Put the link here. With whatever it is that you think that needs to be updated, click submit, and we will get that and work on updating the general schedule. Okay.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Are there any record retention items that cannot be used, like restricted for use by a specific government type, or are all of them basically free game?
Everything in here is free game. On this main page, these are limited by department. So if you go into these have general retention schedules specific to corrections, human resources, human services. So these are general retention schedules unique to this department. And that's the only department that can use those. But anything that you find in here, you can absolutely use.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. We got another question?
Not yet.
All right. This is great, guys. Let's keep them coming. Let me show you this. Export results to spreadsheet. If you don't have a search in here, so you can just click clear, make sure it's empty. And right now it's selected all of the active schedules. And this export results to spreadsheet will put everything into this Excel list. So you've got the new schedule number. This is the title. This is kind of a mess to read. Sorry about that. You got the title here. The description is in this column. Here's the retention. These are the tag. Oh, nope, that's the date it was approved. Okay. So all these recent approval dates are because everything moved into a new system. So if you need to know when it was approved by the State Records Committee, let me know. This one says it's current. So if we didn't have the current checkbox selected, this would have some discontinued in here. And this last column has the categories. And this shows you where it was listed on the previous general schedule page. So for the special assessment plans, if you went under county and public works, that's where this schedule used to be. And I'm looking into getting the old schedule numbers into this column right now. We don't have that at the moment, but if I can't get it here, I'll make some kind of a key. And I think we may end up putting it in here in this view recent updates, but we're working on making a key so that if you have an old schedule number and you don't know what it is now, then hopefully you'll be able to find it.
Rebecca, I have another question.
Great.
So you said that all the schedules are free game, but what if it has like state or county in the actual general retention schedule title?
Oh, good catch. Whoever said that, good catch. If it's in the title, then it was it was probably intentional. Example, we had we don't want to see all these. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, accounts payable. So back when these were approved, the state had a need for keeping these records for 7 years. Local government for counties and municipalities really didn't need them longer than 4. And so there are 2 different schedules. So in this case, the state government needs to follow the 7 years, local government should follow the 4. However, if you find a schedule that doesn't have something in the title to say that it belongs to a certain kind of government agency, if it doesn't say student records or state government and it's just in the description, let me know. Maybe it's something we could just update, because there have been a lot of schedules. I tried to go through and make them neutral so they didn't say these records provide an accounting of prisoners' fund maintained by the county jail, so that it's not that specific anymore. But if it's in the title, then it belongs there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Okay. For those of you that are, I know there are a lot of offices that need to be able to see where an old schedule went and what it follows now. And at the moment, these are, so if you search, these show what the schedule is now, but if it doesn't have a link, but you have a record, let us know. Some of them are obsolete because they described things that were very format specific. There were some schedules that said this is a computer form that is generated every month, and we just got rid of those. But what those records documented, the accounts payable, that kind of thing, still have a general schedule. So if there's not a link, let us know and we could add a link or just let you know which schedule it follows instead.
So I have another question.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to be able to add keywords, or do you have, like, does Archives approve the keyword additions, or can anyone add them?
For adding the search terms here, I believe anybody can. I don't, this one says I'm logged in. I think you have to have a Utah ID that you use for the Open Records portal. So if I log out, let's see if I can make a comment here. So, it's going to take you to Utah ID. So if you use the Open Records portal, you've already got this ID and you can log in. And then you can leave a comment. And if you don't want to create an ID for whatever reason, you don't use the Open Records portal or something, you can send us an email at records management or me at rshaw@utah.gov, and that works too. Okay.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, just a second. So if you could also, for the feedback, this does not require you to log in. So you could just comment here that you think it should have a search term, and that would be sent to us as well. Yes, what's the next question?
Okay, so this is kind of long. So where can I get more information on what something means inside the retention schedule record? For instance, I searched for expunged, then clicked on expunged records, GRS-1076. I read over the information, and under retention and disposition, it states after final action, then destroy records.
Yes.
What does after final action mean? Or where can I get the answer? On the website, under definitions?
Final action is something that can mean a variety of things. It will not be on the website. You can give us a call, send us an email if you're not sure, but it's meant to be something that is defined by your office. So for expunged records, the records are destroyed after the original records have met retention, because expungement is about access, right? So when the related record is destroyed, then these can be destroyed. So there are, so the final action is one that isn't always, that isn't specific enough to what, I need to combine these. Look at that! We got 2 expunged records. So on this one, just so you guys can see why, this one is a county schedule. This was the county sheriff, 1619. And then this first one is the municipal schedule, 2121 for the police. So I'm going to combine these and probably keep this one. What is this one? This is the county one, right? And so after that's done, when you pull one of these up, it'll have a link to the other one. So if you find duplicates like this, let me know.
I have a question
Yes.
here. Please walk through on the webinar how to search by a previous schedule number, because this person has a bunch that they're going to need to cross-reference.
Aha, okay. So let's see if we can record that search, right? Okay. Let's see if we can find that old schedule, Municipal 2121. So it's under the advanced search options, and it's the second one here, previous schedule number. And I know a lot of agencies kind of changed what this abbreviation was. For state government, it's SG. For county government, it's CO. Municipalities, it's MUN. School district is SD. But I'm going to show you a trick. All right, so here's the old police expunge record schedule. There's the new number. But if you just search, I'm going to query this, 2121. That gives you 54 results. Oh dear. Okay, well, this might not always work, but it could. There's one I searched the other day. This one was a school district, 1732. I know these old numbers, and now they're not the numbers anymore. So, I don't know this number yet, but we're going to run them together, guys. The system changed, but that's okay. Burial records was MUN 17.3 that was crosswalked into this one. So if you can't find it, let me know, but it should give you the schedule that it is moved to. You know what? I'm going to look into this, but we're going to make a key that will make this easier to find the old numbers with what it is now. Those gave you different results, didn't they? That's interesting. These two make sense to me. And this one came up because it's a 3. So this is kind of getting into the weeds, but when you're looking for these old schedules, if it had been previously crosswalked, so a schedule was updated and it was removed from the municipal schedule and linked to the county schedule, if that was done on the old website, it's going to show you that updated link, which is why. So this was MUN 17.3 was for a municipal cemetery schedule, and it was crosswalked into this new schedule that was made for County 1443. But that's not a detail you'll find on the website. So if it's getting difficult, let me know, and I'll help you out. And we're working on making a key so that this will be easier.
And Rebecca, these are details that we want to know too, so that we can fix them.
Yes. Yes, if there's something you're finding difficult to find, there's something, some kind of bug you think you've come across, let us know so that we can get it fixed. We want this to be a user-friendly, easy to find the schedule you're looking for. That's our goal. So if it's not doing that, let us know how we can improve it so that it becomes what you need.
We have a few more questions.
Okay.
Does each organization need to have its own retention schedule on file?
That is a good question. The answer is yes, but no. No, but yes. If you're going to be using the archive services for the record center, then you do need to have that series number that will be listed under your agency here. So if I go into, I'll just pick something. So these are the series numbers, and these are unique to Beaver County Clerk. And there are general retention schedules for some administrative records and birth records, death records. There are general schedules for those. But if you want to store anything at the archives or using the microphotography services here, it's going to need one of these numbers. You can create a series for series like this for all of your records if that is what works for your office. We certainly aren't going to tell you not to. And some agencies do that just as their records management plan. They have everything on the website, and that's what the entire staff refers to. You can do that. If you want to have general retention schedules and just pick the ones that you need and keep a copy of that in your office, you can do that. In fact, if you do a search and then you can export all the results onto the spreadsheet, so you don't have to. This doesn't have to be everything. This can just be what you search for, and then you can make your own list and have that for your own use.
That's great. I have one kind of along similar lines. So the number that is GRS dash and then has 4 numbers.
Yeah.
Is that number the new series number for archiving, or is it just a retention schedule definition number? Do we continue to use our regular series numbers or not when we send records to the archives?
If you have a series number, to send records to the archives, you must have a series number. So that's absolutely unique to your office, and you need to use those and keep those. These are just numbers that go with these schedules. So if you go, let me go back to, we said it better here. So disposition authority, this is it's the new general schedule number. So the old ones used to say SG1-73 or something, and this is just the number we have instead of that, and it's called the disposition authority. So instead of having a series number like your office has saying this series was approved by the State Records Committee on this date, it's a disposition authority number that was approved, that has a schedule with it that was approved by the State Records Committee so that you can use it. It's just the number for the general schedule. But if you try to send records using that number, the record center cannot take them. So they need to have a number that will tie it directly to your office.
Okay, another question.
Yeah.
Why would you crosswalk the municipal schedule into the county schedule?
At the time, so for the last 4 years, we were working on consolidating the schedules and working towards having one. And there was as there were more schedules that the state needed a different kind of retention than local agencies did, we created separate ones like the accounts payable and receivable that we saw. And the goal at the time was to consolidate everything so that they would be state and local, but then this ended up being a better way to go, so that anybody can use these and you still don't have to go quick down into the categories. And that was just, we would be updating the schedules that a municipality would use and the county would use, and we used to have them tiered. So if you were state, you could only use the state schedule. If you were county, you could use county or the municipality. It was tiered kind of money that way. And this is probably more detail than you need. But it was a way that we could help people follow the rules that we had made, because the cities and municipalities had the same records, and they had the same retention need. So we combined them and put them in one place, and it did cause confusion for municipalities, which is part of the reason why we made this change, so things are easier to find. All
Great.
right.
Thank you.
Right. We got any other questions? Whoa.
I'm not seeing any coming in, but let's just wait a minute in case anyone sends any.
If there's an old schedule number and you can't find where it went, please let me know, and we'll help you, so that I don't want you guys, anybody spending a lot of time on here trying to find something and getting frustrated. Let me know, and we'll try to improve this so it's easier to use. So, excuse me.
Okay, here's another one.
All right.
Is there somewhere that lists the public or private retention like you used to have listed?
Oh, good question. No, for the general retention schedules, these do not have designations anymore. We got rid of those back in 2016, 2015. I don't remember. It's a few years ago. And the law says that records are designated or classified at the record level, and general schedules are too broad to have a classification on them. However, that said, if if you have a bid department that has a general retention schedule. Oh, no, these don't anymore. That's right, we got rid of these. Never mind. These had them for the agency specific general schedules, had them for a little while longer than the general schedules did. But I take that back. Pretend I didn't go here. So if you're wondering about the designation of your records, Rosemary Cundiff is the state ombudsman. She's a great resource. And if you have a series under your agency, these have designations in here. But the general schedules don't, because they're just too broad.
Rebecca, one
Yeah.
other factor is that in the law, it's the responsibility of the agency to classify their records.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, we have more questions.
Okay.
Okay, so for special districts, in the case of where it lists state or local in the title, like in the accounts payable example, would special districts just choose between the available schedules like before?
You can. The special districts used to be listed as categories under the municipal schedule, so they had been treated in the general retention schedule side, have been treated like they were local agencies. But if your need for the records are different and you need to use the other schedule, I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, I may want to talk to your analyst, but that's for special districts, that's Heidi Steed.
Okay, I have a comment.
Yes.
From Rachel Stenta. She says, I just want to say this is the best thing that State Archives has done for records management. I love it.
Yay! Oh, thank you. It's been it's been a long road, but we're really excited to have it up. So we hope you guys all find it very useful.
One more comment.
Yes.
About the classification.
Uh-huh.
Correct That is what the law says, but it was helpful to have the code listed so you could easily look it up.
Yes. That's true. One resource on our website, if you go to Open Government under the Government Record Ombudsman, there's a lot of resources there that you could use. Yeah, I'm sorry it's not on the general retention schedule, but a lot of them would have to have every designation on it because the records vary so much, and yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
I'm looking, I'm not seeing any more. Jen Grigg says, thanks for all your hard work.
Oh, thanks. So where did all the schedules go? Takes you to the facts page, and this will break down each field on the general schedules. Oh, in fact, I should show you. There is a PDF link on each of the schedules that will show you the same thing if you clicked on the schedule and looked at it on the HTML. And so that if you need to print these off and have those, you can do that. You can export your results. If you have a lot of similar records and you're not sure which one to follow, I would start clicking on the statuses or change your sort to the approval date so the most current schedule moves to the top. And I think that's what we got. This certainly isn't the end. We've got some more things we're working on. We are adding search terms to each of the schedules, so what you're looking for will pop up, but we can certainly use your help. And for schedules that you can't find that you think should be a general schedule, you can send us an email, but you could click on something and provide feedback and just say, I'm trying to find a schedule for this, and there should be one. And we'll use those as our guide as to what schedules need to be added.
That's great. Right. We don't have any questions.
Okay, well, we'll end a little early, but we really appreciate you guys joining us for our webinar series, and explore the general schedules. And if you can, and let us know how it works for you, if there's anything that can be improved upon so it's easier to use. We really use your feedback to make sure we get the things that you need up here. And with that, actually, let me give you one more thing. Oh, where's my mouse? Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. This is the analyst. So if you are county, city, special district, Heidi Steed is your analyst at Department of Health as well. Kendra Yates is the manager of the record analyst. She is also the analyst for elected offices, governor's office, auditor, those agencies. Renee is your go-to person for almost all of state government. And I am the analyst for education agencies, for colleges, school districts, charter schools. And if you guys have any questions, let us know.